Welcome back to Sarah's Stitch. I'm Sarah. I am a 27-year-old knitter in Hoboken, New Jersey. And this is primarily a knitting podcast, my place on the internet where I can talk to all of you about my knitting projects, plans, crocheting sometimes, and everything in between, so that my friends, family, boyfriend, etc. don't kill me for talking about knitting only with them, because I don't really have any knitting friends here to bother, so I figured I would post my thoughts and feelings on the internet instead. So this is going to be my last podcast of the year for the Twist and Turns shawl from Stephen West, which the MCAL just officially wrapped up today. I'm filming on Thursday, November 3rd, I think. So it's officially, the last clip has officially been out for a week, so there's no more spoilers. People can start posting their pictures without one or two warning pictures on their Instagrams. So I will be talking about my final shawl today, and I'm wearing my shawlography from last year as like a kind of a celebratory Stephen West episode. And then after I talk about my shawls, I will go through my works in progress and any knitting plans I have coming up. I will be changing how often I post since we're done with the MCAL. I'm going to try and post every 2 weeks rather than every week, just so I can kind of get a break from filming, putting everything together, and have a little bit more time to knit without feeling so, I don't want to say stressed, but pressured to have made progress on things. So my plan is every 2 weeks or so for the podcast going forward. But let's get into everything today. So I am wearing my shawlography, which is what I made last year for the MCAL. It is made out of Magpie Fibers Swanky Sock in, let's see if I can remember all these colors. Okay, first I'll show you it. So this is what it looks like. So I'll go wingtip to wingtips, tip to tip. So it is like a crescent half moon kind of shape. I'm sure if anyone's watching this that follows Stephen West, they've seen this before. But that is what it looks like, and the colors I used are, okay, I think this brown is Eager Beaver. The dark blue is Midnight Train to Georgia, maybe. This green is Tactical. This darker teal is Siren Song, and then this lighter teal is Magpie. I think those are all right. It's all in my Ravelry what actual colors I used, but I'm pretty sure that those are the colors. This dark blue actually might be Follow You Into the Darkness, maybe? They have two dark navies that are pretty similar. One's more teal and one's more of a true blacky blue navy. But so that is my shawlography, which I love dearly. And now I will talk about my twist and turns, which is fully off the needles. It is a little damp still from blocking it. I washed it on Tuesday and have had it drying since, but it's still a little damp, but that's okay. So I will give you the full view of it first. So here it is. It is significantly wider from, I guess, tip to tip than my shawlography, which is fine with me because I usually wrap them around my neck like I had my shawlography at the start of the podcast. But I just showed the back side of that whole thing. Oh, goodness. Try that again. Here's the actual right side. So that is the downside of this, is it's tough to see which side is the right side if you're just kind of looking at it quickly, because my cables aren't as pronounced as if they were a solid color. So I keep doing that of like, which side's the right side, which side's the wrong side. But, so this is what the right side looks like. And I used Magpie again for this. This is on the Solo Fingering base, which is a single ply. And the colors I used are Harpoon is this brown, that was the main color. Paris Train is the speckle, which is like a cream with turquoise, yellow, brown, and a few very random specks of pink. But that's fun. That was a fun little surprise when I found that. And then the light blue is Magpie, which is the same color I used in my shawlography, which I like the, I don't want to say continuity, but similarity between my two shawls is that there's one color that's the same between the two, since it's both Magpie. But this is what my total shawl looks like. And I did modify the, I think it was section 10. You were supposed to do twisted chevrons to connect these loops to, and then there was the option to do another section of these big chevrons above it. I chose not to do either of those things because I don't particularly like the very angular parts of chevrons. When I block this, you can see the bottom is still technically chevron too, but I didn't pin it out aggressively. So it's just kind of curved. And I knew if I had done the twisted rib chevron and then the extra chevron on top, it was not only going to stick out 4 inches from, maybe 3 inches, but it was going to stick out a good bit from this cable section, up about that much more. And it would have been definitely significantly pointier than the bottom part, just because of the number of stitches in between the chevrons. So I just did short rows. They came out okay, they're fine. In the twisted rib, this was my first time doing short rows in ribbing, so I wasn't really expecting perfection because I've never done it before, and I didn't really have a pattern to go off of. I don't think I have any patterns that have short rows in the ribbing. So I kind of just wung it. And this is what happened. I like it. I'm happy that it's all kind of level all across. There's a small dip in between the cable section and here, but that's okay with me. In a few months, I might add on another cable going all the way around the shawl because my edges are still curling up a little bit, which is not my favorite. And I'm trying to figure out a way to avoid it. And I think if I did this antler cable, this it's 2 cables that are going away from each other essentially, all the way around the outside of the shawl, I think it would help with the rolling. I don't know if it would encourage more rolling at the end of it, or at the edge, like this edge, but I have about 80 grams left of both my main and my contrast colors. So these two, the brown and the speckle. And it just kind of seems like a waste to just have it laying around. I don't have any plans or ideas on what I can make with 160 grams of single ply. And this is terrible to say, but if I have leftovers that I know I'm not going to use, I just throw them out because I just don't need or want them in my apartment. I have not a lot of space and I'd rather have yarn that I'm going to use in the future rather than yarn that I've already used in a project that doesn't really have a need or place for another one. So I may add on to it, I may not, but as of now, this is final. And I didn't do the I-cord embellishments in the antlers, like in the pattern, because I still haven't been able to figure out a decent way to have them be noticeable and like emphasize the cables without them just kind of getting lost. So it's a little bit easier to see on this side of the cables rather than this side, just because this section of the skein was significantly more speckled, so everything just kind of gets a little bit more drowned out. But so that's my only other open thing to figure out with this, but I'm considering it finished. It's finished. Let's be real. I'm probably never gonna touch it again, knitting wise, just to wear it. But that is my twists and turns. So now I'm going to move on to my works in progress, and I didn't get a ton of knitting done this week. I guess when you look at my shawl, I did make those 2 wingtips, and the modifications I did to the chevron section did require a good amount of brain space and ripping out and trying and retrying. So I did knit a good amount, I guess, but I didn't make that much progress on my other projects. So my socks, these are my crunkled socks by Kay Jones of Bakery Bears, and it is knit out, they are knit out of a homespun house from Molly, and the colors are Loganberry for the heels, toes, cuff, and the foot and leg of the sock are knit out of Spice Cider, which is one of her fall colorways. And it is soft sock and then gold stellina yarn for the body of the foot. And these were cast on exactly a year ago today, so need to finish these. But so my second sock is, I did get some progress on it. I think I was right past the gusset decreases last time. So I made about that much progress on it. I have, I think, 4 more repeats of the pearl rib pattern to get through. Sorry if you can hear the vacuum. They're vacuuming my like communal staircase right now. So, but I am in between calls on work, and this is the only time I could film. So I have just a little bit more left on the sock to get done, and then the toe. So in theory, these should be done by the next time I film. In theory. I'm not bringing these on my trip to California because I want to work on other things. So we will see if they actually get done by the next time, but these are where these are at. The other major thing I worked on is my sister's sweater. So this is the Marius sweater by Petite Knit, and I am using Cory Confetti in the color Graybo, and it is, I think, the 3rd batch that they did. So this is how it's looking so far. So I did do, I believe last time I had one of the shoulders done and I hadn't started the other shoulder or connected. So everything is connected together. There are armholes now, and I am 2 or 3 rounds past joining everything in the round. So now it's all stockinette, which is nice. Before it was just a lot of knitting and purling, and on top of all of this knitting and purling, I kind of wanted a break. So this is where it's at. It's certainly not finished for my trip to California, and I leave in 5 hours, and it's not going to get finished. So my sister lives in California, so my hope was to just fly out with it so I didn't have to ship it or bring it with me next time. I could just leave it there and forget about it. So not even close to finished, but that's okay. I think I have to do about 20 centimeters of stockinette and then ribbing. So I'm still debating on if I'm going to bring this with me to California. It is large, and I was going to just pack in a carry-on. So we'll see if it makes the cut. I kind of would like to, just to see if I can get through the entire thing before I leave. I'm there for about a week, so I may bring it, but this is where it's at right now. And then that's really all I worked on this week. I was kind of burnt out from all of the knitting with the MCal over the last month, so I am looking forward to kind of relaxing a little bit with my knitting and not stressing out if everything's not done right that second or right within a week or anything like that. So I'm going to quickly talk about what I think I'm going to bring with me to California. Again, I still haven't packed my clothes, let alone my knitting. So this is subject to change, but this is what I'm thinking right now. So I'm thinking I'm going to bring my 3x1 rib socks, which these are the ones I'm doing on the 1.75 millimeter needles, just to see if I like the gauge of these better than 2.0, which is what I have used for socks for the last year and a half. But my gauge seems like it's getting a little bit too loose, so I'm trying 1.75s. So I think I'm going to bring these. This is just the first sock, so I have a whole nother sock to do. And this is a Homespun House. It is the Patreon set from September, I believe, maybe August. The contrast is Galileo, which is one of her tonals she usually has in the shop year round, and then the leg is Fallify, and that is a one-of-a-kind color for Patreon. So it is very pretty and folly. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough yarn. I always play yarn chicken with these because I never know how far I can actually get with a 50-gram skein for a sock. These are 3x1 rib too. I don't know if I said that or not, but yeah, I don't know. I never know how like high of a leg I can do. And my mom, these are going to be for my mom. And she really likes higher or longer legs. So this is always a game of chicken, and I never feel like I'm going to win. So I might bring Loganberry, which is this color, and put it as the heel on this. I feel like that would look good. Maybe. It's a fall color. Just so I have a little bit more wiggle room with the Galileo for the toe if I need to use extra to make the foot longer. But we will see. I think I'll do like 40 rounds for the leg, and then I should have enough. Usually I do about 50 rounds for her socks, but we'll do 40 and see how it goes. If she doesn't like them, wear the same size shoe so I can just take them. But we'll see. So this, I think, is coming with me to California. And then the other thing I'm going to bring, I think, for socks is these two skeins. So this is also a Homespun House. This main color is Jubilation. It's a Christmas color. And then this is Comfort, and it's on gold Selena. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this Selena, but I promise it's there. And I think I'm in Christmas sock mode now. I'm one of the crazy Americans. I know a lot of other countries kind of start prepping for Christmas in November. But a lot of Americans, at least the Americans I know, don't start until after Thanksgiving, which is the end of November. But I like to start doing Christmas like now. So I like Christmas time. I like my Christmas decorations. My apartment is just so much cozier when there's a Christmas tree in it, and it's like nice warm lighting at night, and it's cozy and it's warm in here. I bring out all my blankets. So I want to knit Christmas socks. So this is my first Christmas sock of the year, and I'm starting with this one because I feel like it's not like in your face Christmas, so my entire family isn't going to judge me when they see this yarn. All of my other Christmas yarns are very red, green, and speckled, and very obviously Christmas. Like this, I feel like you could be like, oh, it's just a yarn, nothing to see here. It is sold at Christmas time, but the pink, it's just non-traditional Christmas color, so it's a little bit more subtly Christmas. So those two are definitely coming with me to California. And now is my dilemma series. So I don't think I'm gonna bring my sister's sweater because it is pretty big right now, and it's stockinette, and I think I'm going to make these stockinette. I haven't made just a plain stockinette pair of socks in a while. Maybe I'll do texture on these, we'll see. I think this is gonna be kind of stripy, pooly kind of. I don't know if you'll be able to see on here, on these ones. So Molly, sometimes her yarn, like, it doesn't pool, but it does like a spiral stripy thing, which I like. And maybe you can see. No, you can't see it on any of my socks, but I think this is going to do that. So I don't know if I want to do a stockinette sock or something with a little bit of texture. We'll see. But if I don't do stockinette, maybe I'll bring my sister's sweater. Otherwise, everything I'm going to have is stockinette. And I feel like I might want something different. So what I'm debating between is bringing one of the gift sweaters. So I have the yarn from my mom's sweater, which I'm doing a cabled sweater. This is Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in the color cream, and I have Sandnes Garn Tin Silk Mohair in like their cream color as well to hold with it. And I'm attempting to do the Billy pullover, Billy sweater. Go Billy pullover. I think that's right. By Sari Nordlund. And it's had a few starts. I haven't really liked how it's been going. My honeycomb cables just look messy to me and not in a good way. So, and my mom loves it, but she wouldn't say if she didn't like it because I'm making it and I'm her daughter. So, retrying it again. I'm going to try and look on the plane and see if there's anything else in this weight that I like better. She wants like a traditional cabled, all over cabled sweater. So I need to figure out what I'm doing with that. But this is what I would bring if I'm only doing stockinette for my other things, just because I consider the rib socks stockinette because that's really no thinking involved. But just to give me the option of doing something other than just knitting around and around and around, I would bring this. My other thing is I could bring my dad's sweater. So this is the extremely large start I have to it. This is going to be a Marius sweater. I have the Sandnes Garn pattern, and this is getting knit out of Sisu from Sandnes Garn. It is, I bought it at Mother Knitter in Red Bank, but I'm doing, he wanted a little bit of modification, so the cuff is gonna have this pattern on it, as well as the hem of the sweater. So I'm starting with the sleeves because I just kind of wanted to gauge the yarn, and I didn't feel like doing a gauge swatch, so I figured a sleeve would be fine because it's bottom up anyway. And this is fingering weight, so it's going to take me ages and ages and ages to finish. So that is, I'm also considering bringing this because I'm not going to need to bring nearly as many balls of this as I would for my mom's sweater or my sister's sweater, because those are both DK to worsted weights. I feel like the sleeves, I'm probably still going to be on a sleeve by the time I leave California. There's no way I finish 2 sleeves while I'm out there. So I probably would only need to bring 2, maybe 3 balls of yarn. So for safe saving reasons, I would maybe bring this, but we'll see. I'm going to be gone before this posts, so let me know what you think I brought. But those are what my plans are at the moment. I haven't touched my Sunday sweater or Ryan's zipper sweater. I like I said, I was feeling a little bit burnt out from the twists and turns, so those are still in the same place that they were last time, which is fine. There's no rush for me to get through those. We live together. He knows his sweater's coming at some point. Hopefully it's done before Thanksgiving. Seems almost doable, but we will see. So Thanksgiving's, I think, in 3 weeks. So we will see. But that is it for me today. I have, like I said, I have to go pack. I have a lot of laundry to do before I leave, and I'm still supposed to be working today. So I will let everyone go. Thank you so much for watching if you're still here, and let me know what you think I brought with me on my trip. And I will see you all in 2 weeks and on Instagram, hopefully. Thanks for watching. Bye.